Hello guys, Adam here and welcome back to Pause and welcome back to World Discovery. This is part 9 and today we're continuing on in our Mexico area. More specifically, we are doing a bit more work on our brand new log flume. So in this episode we finish the station, we put in the entrance to the queue line, we work on the first indoor scenes of the ride, add a little bit of music, add some billboards, and just generally getting some theming in the ride. So we get quite a bit done today. It's a little bit of a shorter video because a few bits I did forget to record, but I forgot to actually start the recording, and also a few other odd bits were just here and there, putting together some billboards and finding some research images and all that kind of stuff. So I've kind of put the main bulk in. But yeah, it is a little bit of a shorter one today. For anyone who is new to the channel or new to this series, do check out the other episodes here on World Discovery. There's 8 other episodes that you can check out, basically putting this part together from scratch up until this point today. So have a look back at those. If you're going to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like, and if you are new here and you enjoy this stuff, please subscribe to the channel, as it really will help us out, and we could do with the subscribers. At the moment it's getting a bit slow. Anywho, enough of all that rubbish. So onto my idea and into today's video. So as I mentioned previously, my idea here is that you're going to sort of break through the temple, through like a cave structure, and that's going to take you into the ride area. And that's the kind of idea I've done here. So using terrain, rock work, and a little bit of odd theming pieces, this whole back wall of the indoor temple becomes kind of like overgrown and very much like the walls have, pardon me, the walls have collapsed, and yeah, you're heading through the cave structure into the sort of, well, I suppose in the grand scheme of things it would be a river journey. Obviously in the game we're using a log flume, but imagine this is just an underground river that you are travelling on. That's the kind of general idea for the ride. I'm trying to keep it relatively Mayan, as that's the sort of structure of the temple. Now apologies if you see bits in this video that don't really follow the whole Mexico standard. Remember, I'm not amazing with my countries and geography, and yes, I know that's probably a stupid thing to say as I'm putting this together and trying to work on this kind of park, but I'm trying my best, so bear with me. But yeah, I'm trying to make it sort of Mayan to match the temple, as you'll see with the sort of pieces we put inside. And it's relatively simple, the first 2 scenes that we put in, very much setting the scene and setting the atmosphere. And the temporary name we've gone for at the moment is Mayan River Journey. So yeah, it's a temporary name holder. So if anyone can come up with a slightly better name than that, please let me know. But for now, that's what it's going to be called. We'll just put in a little entrance sign here. We'll just make a very quick facade using some odd little bits and pieces, and also put a little fence around it as well. I do need to obviously still finish off the inside of this area. We're going to add some shops and restaurants and things. But in this episode, we do actually put in the majority of the path. I think it might have been on the bit of footage that I lost, but I'm not sure, you might see it. But yeah, we do put a little bit of the path for the ride, as well as the entrance and exit queue do go in. I mean, it might be in this footage, I don't know, I can't remember. This is over sort of a couple of recording sessions worth of footage you're watching here, sort of condensed down into one little video, as I've just sort of had odd bits of time here and there to play. So yeah, just a few little bits and pieces here just to give it the impression, like I said, it's kind of collapsing through the cave, and the sort of walls are pouring into the temple is the kind of idea I'm going for, and I think it turns out quite well. I'm quite happy with it. By the end, I think it's quite a grand entrance. Yes, it obviously looks a bit overgrown, but that's the idea. You're breaking through this really nice temple structure. The rest of this indoor section is going to be nice. It's going to be relatively well kept. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's half past midnight when I'm recording this, so I'm getting a little bit tired. But I just wanted to get this done before I go to bed so I can get this video out. So yeah, so putting in a little bit of rock work in the station. We do sort of bring the train in a little bit more in this whole station area, sort of to make it one little cavern, and that's something we work as we go through, just to bring it all together. Kind of using a lot of the little tiny sort of minuscule bits of terrain work to try and bring this all together. And like I said, I think it works out quite nicely. It brings it quite an immersive theme, and that's the kind of idea I was going for. You might notice the path works all a bit funky with the flooring. Don't worry about that. That will be sorted out. One of the last things I'm going to do is lift up the that floor base that I've put in. So most of this path work that I've put in for the actual ride area will be hidden eventually. I'm just keeping it up there at the moment just so I can see where I've put it for the theming purposes. So generally all you'll see is the fence, and that's generally the idea. So that cut there is where I lost a bit of footage. So basically what I've done is just a little bit of theming around the queue line. I've added quite a lot of lanterns and lighting and things, and a bit of theming on that wall. We lit up the sort of walls and things inside the station area, and then we put in a triggered door just at the start of the ride. We lit that up, set the trigger, and that's generally what was in the footage that got lost. It was about, I don't know, half an hour's worth of work, but I just, like I say, completely forgot to actually start recording, so yeah, I lost that footage, so apologies, but you'll generally see what we've done at the end. I've got some nice slow-mo shots at the end of this video which you can check out. Okay, next up we're working on the first couple of little scenes of the ride. Like I said, nothing too spectacular. Generally here they're just setting the mood, so imagine some sort of very low light levels. Yeah, so just some small scenes, lit up with sort of faded lights triggered on the way past, again to set the mood. And we will add in some music and sound effects and that kind of stuff down the line to really bring this together, and give the impression that you're sort of entering something and you're not really sure what you're going into. And this second scene here is a little bit more grand, and this is the sort of scene just before you head up into the lift hill, up to the outdoor section. We put in this little being in the middle, and then we use a few of the sort of Mexico pieces, the sugar skulls as they're called in the game, just dotted around. The idea for this is like some kind of like not throne, that's the wrong word, like a celebration, like a what word am I looking for? A shrine, that's the one I'm looking for, yeah. So we make like a shrine using some of the sugar skulls. Again, subtle lighting, just lighting up little bits and pieces of the rocks. So again, as you go in there, you can see that you're in a cave, and then the main focus is sort of triggered as a fade on light. Again, you'll see exactly what I mean by this towards the end in the slow-mo footage. But it works quite well, again, just to set up that scene. And the main grand finale will happen just after the drop, when you sort of drop back down into the cave, and then we'll do sort of a big grand scene with a bit more going on. Like I mentioned, here are the little sugar skull things. We do change the colour in a minute, as what I didn't realise is they are lit from regardless, you can't turn them off. So we just sort of take the white away and just have the face look, and I think it kind of works in a very creepy way, but with the trigger when it comes on with the light, it works quite well, and I'm quite happy with it. And then one last idea that I had just here was just to give just something to look at as you go up the lift hill. So I thought, well, why not stick another skull there? And again, it's triggered by a red light this time that comes on just as you head up past the skull, and I think it turns out all right. Actually, I'm quite happy with it. So, like I say, all these lights that I've got on are just using very basic triggers. So they just literally fade on for 5 to 10 seconds and fade back off again. Very simple stuff so far. Like I mentioned, we will do the outdoor scene in the next episode. We'll just do some sort of light water effects up there, and then the big finale scene down past the drop. So that's generally the idea, and that's what we are going to tackle in the next episode. But now I'm just going to leave you with some slow-mo shots of the work that we've done today. And like I said, I think it's turned out quite nice. I'm quite happy with it. Obviously I need to light up the entrance a little bit more, but that's something we'll work on as we get down the line. So that's it for today's episode, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the content. If you've got any queries, questions, comments or suggestions, any name suggestions or anything like that, then please drop them down below, and I'll take everything on board. But for now, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys. Bye.